What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. It's Coach Luis Cabrera. I'm here with Professor Andrew, and we're back with another video, a Patreon early access video. All right. Before we get started, this video is brought to you by Nations Athletic Jiu-Jitsu apparel for everyone. So make sure you guys check them out. The link is going to be in the description. So last time we were taking a look at how to control the back, and we showed you guys some drills that you can do to regain the back control if you're losing it. Okay, so today we're going to take a look at some attacks, primarily my favorite attack, the triangle from the back position here. So one thing first that we want to take note, when we want to control our partner's ability here to rotate their shoulders and their hips left and right. And we do this by engaging our hooks, keeping our knees pinched, and our seatbelt. Okay, but our seatbelt's a little misleading. All right, so a lot of the times we think that our hands is what's giving us control of the upper body, but in reality, it's our elbows. So if we keep our elbows nice and pinched here, we can actually prevent our partner from rotating, and our hands are free to actually do some hand fighting. So let's take a look at how we set up the triangle from the back. All right, so I like to set it up from the underhook side, or commonly known to as the weak side, but it's actually my favorite side to attack from. All right, so we fall here, we have nice tight hooks. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to eliminate my partner's ability to bridge into me and start rotating his hips. So try to bridge. See, he wants to do that. Okay, that's a common reaction. So the way that I'm going to try to limit that is I'm going to take my bottom hook here and I'm going to shoot it across his hip. And I'm going to take my top hook and I'm going to place it right on top of my foot here. And I'm going to be pressing down with my foot. So now when he tries to bridge and rotate his hips, it makes it a little hard for him here. Okay, so I keep my seatbelt nice and engaged here. And now I'm going to look for my hand fighting here. If my partner's hands are not engaged, I'm just going to shoot up a choke and threaten to choke here. This is usually going to prompt my partner's hands to come up and defend here. Okay, so now in terms of my grips with the hand fighting, okay, if I'm controlling straight grips, meaning left hand to left hand, right hand to right hand, I'm controlling at the knuckle line here. Okay, if I'm controlling cross grips, I want to control at the wrist level. Okay, so let's take a look at that here. I'm going to take my control hand here and I'm going to grab wrist to wrist and I'm going to pin it into his stomach here. So I usually threaten to choke, and this will prompt my partner's hands to come up. Okay, so as he's fighting, this hand here is going to make it hard to choke. So I'm going to bring my hand down and I'm going to make a grip switch to the wrist to my control arm. Now I can attack the choke again. Okay, this will prompt him to bring his hand up and now defend with the second hand, and I can circle under the wrist and catch. Okay, so now I have straight jacket control here. Okay, so this is also a way of controlling my partner's ability to control left and right. So now that I have all my grips, it's time to set up the attack here. Okay, so I'm going to take my foot here and I'm going to press down onto my partner's hips, pushing him down a little, and I'm going to shoot my leg over the shoulder and across his chest, just like this. Okay, so I'm going to let go with my control hand and I'm going to catch right above my ankle here, and I'm going to use my knee and open it out, bringing my partner across to the far side. Okay. As I fall to this hip here, this foot comes out, I can place it on the floor and I'm going to hip escape, bringing my heel to my partner's armpit. So now I'm going to lock up a triangle here. Now from this position, I have a whole bunch of attacks. I can attack a Kimura right here by controlling my partner's elbow, bringing it across the far side of my knee, okay, forcing a finish. I can also overwrap my partner's arm here, controlling the elbow, go feet to feet, and I squeeze my knees here for the armbar finish. Or if I want to finish the triangle here, I peel the arm over his head. I can scoop my hips back, reach for his leg here, and now I can squeeze my knees together for the finish. Okay? So let's take a look at that one more time. So you have a nice tight seatbelt, nice tight hooks here. We fall to the underhook side, and now we got to solidify, make sure we have nice, good control. So my bottom hook shoots across the hip. My top hook presses down, so it prevents him from bridging. Okay, so now I got to look for my hand fighting. Okay, so I have to create the opportunity to choke. If my partner's hands are not active, I threaten to choke right away. This is going to prompt him to bring his hands up. Okay, now from here, I bring my hand down and I reach for a cross wrist control. Threaten to choke again, he brings his hand up and I circle on the inside and I grab my partner's wrist. Okay, so now I have double wrist, straight jacket control here. Okay, obviously we can go for hand traps and look for the rear naked choke here. But what I find sometimes is that a lot of people know this setup already. So as I go to trap his arm here, they'll flare their elbow up. Okay, so it's kind of hard to get my foot over. So what I do is, as they're flaring up, I go feet to feet, push them down, and then I shoot over the shoulder just like this. So even if they have their elbow up, I go over the shoulder. Okay, now I let go of the arm, catch my own ankle here, and I'm gonna open my knee as I pull this arm across to the other hip, okay? Take my foot out, place it on the floor. I'm gonna hip escape to shoot that heel into the armpit. Now I lock it up nice and tight. Now from here, we can shoot for overwrap arm bar here. Use my thigh for the finish. I can shoot for Kimura traps, bring it across the far side of my thigh here to finish. Or I peel the arm over his head, scoop back, and I get to sit up, grab his leg, and then crunch in for the finish here, okay? So that's one of my favorite attacks from the back position here. Okay, so now I'm gonna let Professor Andrew here show you one of his favorite attacks when someone's defending the back. All right, guys, so now we're gonna take a look at another attack, this time when your partner falls to the strong side, or the overhook side, choking arm side, right? So we're gonna be with Professor Andrew, and he's gonna go over an attack that he likes to use.
So we're here, guys, we have the back, right? Like Coach Lewis said, we're gonna fall to the overhook side, or the strong side. I go here. What I like to do is just like what Coach Lewis said, if I keep my hooks here, it's easy for him to turn his hips and start to work that escape. So what I want to do is, we're falling to the right side in this scenario, the left side, we're going to take the left foot and bring it across his hip line, and my right foot is going to come on top of my foot, and I pinch my knees together. So it's harder for him to win this hip battle, okay? Now when we're going for the choke, he's going to have his arm exposed, right? His main concern is my top hand choking him, because the bottom one can't, okay? So I'm going to use that to my advantage. What I want to do is, as he's focusing with my left hand, I'm going to take my right hand, or my underhook hand, out. And I'm going to swim it in between this little triangle that he's making. Okay, so I'm going to fit my hand through the pocket. Now, my right hand, I'm going to hook underneath my knee and stretch. This is going to break his grip on my arm, my left arm. Okay? Now from here, what I want to do is, I'm going to look to rotate my elbow up towards my shoulder. And this is going to force his arm, or his finger, or his thumb, to face down to the mat. Okay, so we go from being here, his hand is relaxed, I'm gonna elbow behind me, so now his arm is facing down. Okay, my right hand is gonna look to control right behind his elbow or his tricep area. I'm gonna clamp my elbow down. As I clamp my elbow down, I'm gonna flex my chest and poke it out. So I clamp and poke my chest out, and I get a nice shoulder submission. Okay, take a look here one more time. So we're here, I have the seatbelt, he's gonna fall to the strong side being the left side. I'm gonna switch my hooks, okay? So it's harder for him to win this hip battle now. Now I'm gonna take my right hand out. I'm gonna feed it inside this little pocket that he created for me, right? This is not enough to break this grip. So with that right hand, I have to weave it behind or underneath my leg and clamp to get that grip to break, okay? Now from here, I'm gonna elbow behind me so I get his hand to face down towards the floor, okay? With my right hand, I'm gonna cup the back of his elbow or his tricep, right? I'm gonna clamp my elbow down. As I start to clamp my elbow down, I'm gonna focus on poking my chest out. And I get my shoulder lock right here, okay?
All right, guys, so those are just two attacks that we like to use when we're hand fighting from the back, and getting the rear naked choke becomes a little bit hard. So what kind of ways do you guys like navigating the hand fighting, and what kind of attacks do you guys like to do when the rear naked choke is not available? Leave it down in the comment section, we want to know. Also, if you have any techniques or position that you guys want us to cover, make sure you leave that down in the comment section too, and Professor Andrew and I will try to cover it as soon as we can. All right, last thing, make sure to visit Nation Athletics Jiu-Jitsu lifestyle gear for everyone, so check them out. The link is going to be in the comment section or in the description. And Professor and I are very active on Instagram, so make sure you follow us on there too, at Jiu-Jitsu with LC and at the Latin Samurai _ Boom! Right? All right, cool. So yeah, so I'll see you guys next time. Oh, before I forget though, those that are already subscribed and signed on to the Patreon, you know we appreciate you guys a ton. So you get one of those just like always, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.